Okay, everybody. Well, this is a series of videos from day 2 for the GIS GPS class, and we covered a lot of material. I'm going to back off a little bit and just kind of take it really simple again, uh, and and walk through the steps for creating some of the basic layers that you need to develop a map. Okay. Um, and I'm going to assume that you've already got your parcel data. So I'm just going to pull up the Beatty file. Now, again, I'll do a video later on walking you through those steps that we had done today, getting the parcel data, pulling that in, and using that for your map. But I'm just going to assume for this, just to simplify things, that you've already have it, and then you'll see that in a later video. So, assuming that you've downloaded your parcel from the NC1map, I'm just going to go ahead and find my folder where all my data is stored. So I'm going to folder connections, and actually I'm just going to, in case you get lost as to where things are, I wanted to remind you that you click on the connect to folder here, and typically you want to go to, in our case, because everything's on the network, we want to go to computer and then scroll down, and you'll see all these network drives. Here's my network drive, and I click OK, and so now when I click on this, I should see my folder connection there. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and what I'm looking for is the GIS data folder in there, and inside that is the Beatty property and the Beatty shapefiles. Okay, so typically what you have when you get started with this is just simply a shapefile of the property boundary. Okay, so that's what we have here, and this property boundary, because it was in state plane coordinates, which you can see those coordinates down here as I'm moving around, because it's in state plane coordinates, if I actually click on layers, which is basically in the top of the table of contents, and click on properties, you can see that the current coordinate system for this screen is now set to whatever the first set of data is that I pulled in. So it's actually set to state plane coordinates. So I'm going to go ahead and hollow this out. I'm going to make it red and give it an outline of about 2. Okay, and so the next thing that typically you'll end up with is an aerial photograph in the background. And I showed you a couple of different ways. You can go to add base map and pull up imagery, but today I also showed you where you can get the most recent aerial photography in North Carolina that covers the whole state. And how I showed you to get that, I'm going to just do a quick reminder. I've stored the link to it. I'm going to back out here a little bit. In the GIS Moodle website, and it's under the Beatty property. You click on the NC1map link to live stream data, and there are 2 links, 2 URLs really. They're not really links. So we're going to highlight the one that's for parcels, topo, contours, and ortho imagery, which is really the one I'm looking for right now. So you copy that. I right mouse clicked, copied. Go back to ArcGIS, and I'm going to go add data, and I'm going to hit the back button a few times. What I'm looking for is this right here, the GIS servers. Okay, so I double click on that. You see I've already got it loaded here. I'm going to go ahead and load it again, so it'll say secure on services NC1map 3 when I'm finished. But I just want to go through this process so it's fresh in your minds. So you click the one on top, add ArcGIS server. I double clicked it, and it throws me to this wizard which the first thing it says, what would you like to do? Well, I want to use an existing GIS service. So I make sure that stays checked, and I click next. And then where it's the URL, that's where I paste in this URL that I'd given you all. And there it is. Okay, popped right up. So I open that up, and it provides me all these data files. So I'm just going to go straight into the imagery and go ortho imagery latest, and shouldn't take and again, because it's a different coordinate system than our data frame, it's giving me this little whiny warning here. So I'm just going to close that and sit back and relax, and there it is. So there's the Beatty property on some really good aerial photography, and I'm just zooming in so you can see just how good this stuff is, and clearly see the roads in there. It's fantastic photography, and it's the newest you could find. There's not going to be any newer photography covering your area than what you can download from that site. So just bear that in mind. It's definitely one that's worth getting. So I don't need to look at all this stuff right here, so I'm just going to minimize that. I'm not going to turn it off. I'm just going to keep it minimized, okay, so it doesn't clutter up my table of contents. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop right now. So basically pulling in your aerial photography as a backdrop is very, very important.